Hi everyone and welcome to the Daily Scopes for the 29th of December. On the 29th of December we've got quite a bit going on. Mercury goes from its pre-shadow phase into its active retrograde phase, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So yeah, at 26 minutes past midnight the moon enters Pisces. When the moon's in the constellation of Pisces, people can become more introverted and be more preoccupied with their inner emotional and psychological life rather than what's going on in their external world. This can cause problems in close relationships or the workplace. People can become more hypersensitive to what is or what they view as an attack on them. You can miss important details or forget to do the things you promise. The Pisces moon is known to make people more fearful and fixated than normal. Also more prone to manipulation or being deceptive. You can be more susceptible to psychic and subliminal influences, for better or worse. So just be careful, because you can be more vulnerable or gullible to deceptive psychic advice, because you can never ever forget that just as people on Earth can be deceptive, those in the astral realm can be too. So yeah, if you cannot stay grounded, it's best to avoid the astral realms and using your tarot and stuff like that, because the information that you may get may not be accurate. So when you're using your extrasensory perceptiveness, just be careful when the moon's in Pisces. Yeah, if you can stay alert, it's a perfect time for all inner work and mystical or higher consciousness development. Negatively, unhealed emotions in the subconscious mind can drive unstable thoughts and behaviours. So you may be prone to escaping into alcohol or drugs or any other distraction. So just be careful about that. And if you're overly affected and you feel like you can't deal, reach out for some help. The best use of the energy in the moon in Pisces is to plan for your future, especially your creative future. So if you're into art, music, design, anything like that, appreciate nature and natural beauty more. Working on artistic projects, listening to music or watching films or other media that stimulates your artistic, more expressive sides. Do all your best to avoid excessive daydreaming and stay realistic in all you do, especially regarding your career and your finances and your romantic life. Helping those who may be going through a bad time right now, or someone could show you empathy if you're feeling down. Take some time out to meditate, practice mindfulness, maybe some Tai Chi, yoga, gentle dance, or primal screaming if you just want to let it all out. Self-soothe, relax and explore the psychic and occult only if you can stay grounded. Said that twice because it's important. And it's also an excellent vibration to make strategic plans for dealing with any unhealed psychological, emotional or spiritual trauma as well. For you gardeners out there, when the moon's in the constellation of Pisces, it's time to plant and transplant, especially leafy crops. Roots can recover quickly, and planting your crops during the Pisces moons, even if you're doing it indoors, can promote immense root growth. Okay, so Mercury enters retrograde at 9:32 a.m. today, and it's this year's fourth and final Mercury retrograde, which will begin in the practical sign of Capricorn, because I do constellational astrology, then it skips in a few days into Sagittarius, but more about this. It starts off in Capricorn, so we shall move. So yeah, the geeky stuff. At certain points in its orbit, Mercury appears to be moving backwards in relation to the Earth, and we call this retrograde. This optical illusion is recurrent, occurring several times a year due to Mercury's shorter journey around the Sun. It takes 88 days to do that, compared to the Earth that takes 365 days to orbit the Sun. So when Mercury's in retrograde, this can cause quite a stir in all things money and work related and communication related, and has the power to disrupt even the best of plans. Best to avoid any major post-festive season purchases and ease into any new projects or professional plans until good old Mercury starts messing with us. But It doesn't really mess with us, but hey, yeah. Well, it can and it does. It depends on your chart and transits and stuff. Sometimes people are like, oh no, Mercury retrograde, everything's going to be crap. But it's just about strategically planning and just being aware that people can just throw shade and talk a lot of cap. So it's about cutting through the bull crap and just staying alert. So yeah, Mercury controls all communication in astrology, from listening, writing, reading and speaking with intention, or gossiping, speaking without intention. Through the use of these tools, we are able to build relationships, negotiate contracts and travel the world and interact with people of different cultures. That's the highest use of it, but sometimes we can be prejudiced and decisive and be like, oh, I don't like them, they do that. So yeah, so when Mercury goes into retrograde, it can make you feel like you're losing your mind, and you may feel like you're losing balance in your life. It's like a cosmic sign to pause and take stock of how all the different parts of your life are working together. If one area of your life is dominating, or if you're feeling off balance, it can cause all other areas of your life to suffer. That's why it's essential to be aware of the connections between the different areas of your life, especially during Mercury retrograde. Use this opportunity to reflect on the power of communication and how it can be used to negatively or positively impact your life, making a choice to make adjustments in the ways that you communicate. There can also be delays in important communication, and you may spend like the whole 5 to 8 weeks during the post and pre and active retrograde and the post-shadow phase stressing, but it's best to embrace the uncertainty and remember flexibility is key. Take some time out to enjoy the slowness, and I know it can be challenging and frustrating when things don't go our own way and when we're waiting for things. But if you do find yourself waiting for some important communication methods, maybe you should take some time out to explore what communication means to you. Use different methods of communication. If you're always a texter, maybe do some phone calls, or if you're always emailing and chatting online, maybe meet up face to face. That thing that we used to do before the internet and social media, who knows? Or just do anything else that's new. Don't be afraid to take a chance and live life to the fullest despite the obstacles, especially if you face them in scientific, technical or creative research or writing projects. Be mindful of your responsibilities, but don't be afraid to make decisions that will lead to a better future. Stay in tune with what's going on around you. Read all your communication carefully, as if you rush you may miss important details, and plan ahead for any upcoming trips. You can make your dreams a reality with the right attitude and focus. Mercury retrograde may seem like a mayhem, everything will go, but it can also be like an opportunity to reflect on where you invest your time and energy. And so some questions you may want to ask yourself when Mercury's in retrograde are your career, relationships, personal development, self-care or any other routines or aspirations getting the attention that they deserve? Or have you been overstretching yourself in other directions? It's time to reflect on what you can do to create a balance that works for you, but maybe don't worry too much. Take a moment out to chill and be aware of the fairies a bit and let your imagination take you. And some of you may daydream for a week. Hey ho, Mercury retrograde can be an excellent time to take a step back and reanalyze who you are and what you're doing. Just make sure you don't do something drastic like quitting your job or moving to a different country. That kind of decision is best left for after the retrograde has ended, but some of you may be, you know what, I don't care. It's a new year in a few days. I just want to start anew. So yeah, I leave that in your hands. But I advise to think twice because the retrograde can be a confusing and chaotic time. So it's best to wait until after it has cleared and you're thinking mild clearer if you're not feeling clearly. Because those with Mercury retrograde in a chart like me, in a natal chart, you're in your element. It's when Mercury's direct when you have all the chaos. But yeah, so it's true. Wow, that's what it's like for me. So yeah, if you do feel you're lacking clarity, don't worry. Just enjoy yourself, take some time out for self-reflection, sit under a tree and meditate, write in a journal, or even take a long nap for the whole 3 to 4 weeks while it's in retrograde, or the whole 8 while it's coming out of its post-shadow phase. So yeah, that's Mercury retrograde. Also, on the 29th, Venus enters Capricorn at 10:34 AM GMT. So when Venus is in Capricorn, it's a great time to focus on getting our lives organised and in order. This is an ideal time to get our finances in check and get our routines down to a pat, down to a T. Plus, it's a great time to strengthen our bonds with those we collaborate with. So if you're looking for a business partner, now is the time to start. But don't forget to tap into your creative side as well. Venus in Capricorn is a perfect opportunity to get creative and make meaningful connections with people who could benefit you in the long run, not in a selfish using, trying to deceive them, manipulate them and take them for everything they got kind of way, but in a we can build something together and make each other's life easier sort of way. Some of you may be strengthening a business connection or maybe a romantic connection with those you already trust and who you already care about. Whether you're looking to make a business partner, a new friend, or finally ask out that cute person you may have been vibing with in real life or online, this energy can help you do so. When Venus is transiting in Capricorn, we can strive for trust, dependability and loyalty in our relationships. We understand that emotions can be a tricky thing, and because of this, some people may push them down to focus on practical matters rather than idealistic fantasies, choosing to keep our composure in all of our interactions. Still, this can cause problems in connections and you may come off as cold or uncaring. We can value loyalty and dependability and prioritise ensuring that these qualities are present in all of our relationships. We can understand that relationships can be complicated, but we strive to make sure that our relationships are more dependable and just wanting just a bit more stability. So yeah, that's Venus in Capricorn. So yeah, there's a lot going on today, isn't it? Moon entering Pisces, then Mercury stays in retrograde, and then Venus entering Capricorn, and that Venus also and that Mercury also conjunct today as well. So this can be a good transit for creative projects. So if you write, draw, entertain, you may do well during this transit in any research, curation or performance you give. You and others may take more of an interest in human or social, psychological or political issues. Empathy can also be increased. You or others may wish to brighten up their physical appearance, wardrobe, home or office space, making it more attractive, using nice smells, makeup, clothes, jewellery, tattoos to upgrade their appearance, not appearance either, appearance for their own well-being or to be more pleasing to others. In social gatherings, conversations may focus on music, arts, design, beauty, food, drink, nature, intellectual or philosophical sort of topics. Some of you may decide to have serious conversations with your partners about values, passions, finances or anything else of importance. Gossip and scandal can also appear on this day. Feeling self-excitement or disruption could also interfere with yours and others' abilities to focus on work. And this gossip and this scandal, things can just get out of hand. So if you do jump into the fire and gossip, be prepared for the consequences. Someone's like, I heard you've been saying this, even if you're just repeating it and someone else told you. So yeah, you or someone else can get great and good news about a creative project they've been wishing to work on or have worked on, and now finally someone wants to help them. This is also a good time for those in creative writing, marketing or social media or any other communication related project or profession to do their thing. Venus also makes a sextile to Mars. So when Venus makes a sextile to Mars, this can be a passionate time. Feelings can turn hot and then cold in an instant. There can be lots of changes of mood and plans. Unpredictable and intensity are the key words of this transit. People can do too much, being like simp behaviour, the Gen Zs call it. So just being like, oh, I love you, I'm going to buy you a house, and they've just met you for a day. Or maybe not a house, but you get You get what I'm trying to say? And giving gifts or money to win affection doesn't work in the long run. Harsh words and actions can also happen, so just know your worth. Yeah, they say all is fair in love and war, right? So this transit also allows for hard work. Also, Venus Sextile Conjunct Mars can bring disappointment in love, and having to work hard to win people over isn't always the best way to do them, but sometimes some people like to do that and some people like to receive that. But when we are being nice and stuff, we have to make sure that the other person is simply not taking us for a ride. And if you do like to be taken for a ride, just get to the root cause of that, because 9 times out of 10 it's not a healthy behaviour. It's normally born out of people taking advantage of you when you was younger or early on in your life and stuff. So know your value as a person. Real love doesn't have to be brought. There can be a lot of falling in and out of lust, mistakes as lust, and you mistake it as love, and then you're just falling in and out of it quickly. So the best use of this energy, all in all, is just to be mindful. Why may you be falling in love quickly? Do you do this often and stuff? Some questions to ask. Do all you can to get to the root of any insecurities or reasons why you think you don't deserve love, especially your own. So yeah, that's the daily scope for the 29th of December.